Guten Tag, mein Freund. Здравствуйте, друг. And welcome back to Colony Survival, where we're surviving in our colony. So, last stream, we climbed a mountain, discovered our ability to snipe blocks from miles away with our superhuman laser beam, and we also made this maze for zombies to walk through. And now we're trying to get some foundations laid, so that way we can get some zombies to show up so we can test our security system. And we also want to get rid of this big old wall here, because we're trying to flatten the mountain so it's easier for us to, you know, have our colony. But, well, don't fall in the pit. Yeah, we dug this pit. We want to have this nice, beautiful view over here of the, delicious, delicious landscape out there. But there's just still this big old wall of junk in the way, so let's go ahead and get rid of this wall. Let's do that first. That'll be the first thing we do this stream. That way, once all of this is gone, we can look at our beautiful world out there and be like, yeah, we're gonna go plunder that eventually. We're gonna go annihilate everything we see. And, oh yeah, let me make sure that the audio is working fine real quick. The audio is working. Yeah, alright. I just have the microphone in a really weird position, but, yeah. Crack open a cold one. It's time for a nice colony survival stream. Yeah, that's smooth. Alright. Oh god, I fell in the pit. Jump, 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 jumpies. Jumpies. Alright. Kind of want to clear it out this way. We were originally going, like, top down, but clearing it out like this is better. Oh, I also forgot to turn back on the game audio. That would be nice, wouldn't it? There we go. Now we have some audio. Also, I did leave the game on for a while, so we have some meals, a lot of berry meals, but, you know, we still only have 10 dudes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 berry farmers, this dude crafting, and then a bunch of guards not doing anything, because there's nothing to guard us from. But they're guarding all right. They get paid by the hour, all right. They don't need to think about all that logistics of if they're actually guarding against anything. That's well above their pay grade. Alright. All of this stone we're gonna get rid of. And then we also need to make it, like, go below the trail here, so zombies can't get up midway through our zombie maze right here. Which we discussed last time, made very deliberately. So zombies do not get into the colony, and we can hurl stones at them from 1 foot away. And I'm hoping I'm not destroying the beautiful landscape in the distance while I'm doing this. But if I do, it's not that big a deal. At some point we need to start mining as well, but we'll figure that out. That's another thing we need to do this stream, is figure out, like, a staircase that we could build a mine for, and also so we could go up and make our colony into, like, a super tower, because that would be pretty sick. It's just, it's not gonna be, super aesthetically fancy. It's gonna be very purpose-built. Extreme utilitarianism. To a fault, really. Because sometimes there's, such a thing as functional aesthetics, And if you try to go extreme utilitarianism, sometimes you forget about the functionality in some aesthetics, and you end up screwing everything up when you try to make everything into just a bunch of floating platforms. So yeah, there's that. We do want to get a bunch of these snow blocks, because that's what I'm going to be making our, like, guard area out of, like our ring of guards, and also the snow is what I'll be using for the zombie trail. Because I want to be able to have a block that's very easy to identify from a distance. Like if I'm way far away on this side of the colony, I want to be like, oh yeah, there's the zombie trail right there. It's because it's the white block. And then all of the green and brown and various other colors are not the zombie trail, and it's very easy to see. So, you know, if we're like having an issue where zombies are getting in from some other location, because I messed it up at some point when building, I can be like, okay, where do I need to fix this at, you know? And I can see where it connects and everything. So that'll be very nice to keep neatly organized. Spooky Owl. It is Spooky Owl time, apparently. Spooky Owl season. I hope everybody's wearing their owls right now. Collect all of this. Oh yeah, and then there's the river, which has water. We do want to bring water over to the colony, which is possible. It's gonna be a lot of digging, though. Because water can't go uphill. And they didn't add any way to bucket water, so you can't like move it from there over to here like you can in like Minecraft or other games. So what that means is we'll have to like create a path for the water to flow, but it has to stay at that height or lower. So we'll have to dig a tunnel into the mountain, and then we'll have to go down inside our colony and meet the level of the water. And that is the plan that we're gonna get to eventually. But that we don't have to worry about that for a while. Right now, our dudes don't need water, thankfully. They absorb all the liquids they need through the humidity in the air. Through a magical sort of respiration process or something like that. I don't know, they just don't need water. Eventually though, we have a bunch of things we're gonna unlock that need water, so we gotta make sure we stay on top of that eventually. And a lot of future proofing we need to do when building, so we don't have to do annoying land clearing projects like this when we already have a colony built. Like I said, it's a lot easier to do this land sculpting stuff ahead of time than once it's already started. Once it's already started, you have dudes walking around, and you have all these job blocks and stuff, and all the guards and the zombie maze to take care of. It gets to be a complete headache that can take hours to fix if you build it the wrong way. So just getting it to not suck is important. Getting it to not be annoying is fantastic to be able to do. All of this clears out, all of this clears out, all of that, yeah. Yuckity yuck yuck yuck. Alright. There we go. I am so happy to have this mod that makes mining not take absolutely forever. This is such a basic thing to do. And it'd be impossible without mods, basically. It wouldn't be impossible, but I would be here doing clearing out just this thing for multiple streams. We'll have this cleared out in like maybe Like, look at how much we already cleared out. A huge chunk of it. It will not take us a very long time to clear this out, all things considered. And this will be probably the thing that takes us the longest to do. So we'll clear out this, and then we'll get rid of some of the snow over there in front and flatten, create a nice flat area where we can do more berry farming and stuff. And then I want to figure out where we're going to build our staircase so we can go mining, and we can have other levels for like putting down all of our beds, having different crafting areas. Oh, we need a forester too. Is that a job? Do we have access to that job? Yeah, forester. Yeah, we gotta get someone who can plant trees. So we'll need to set up that as well. That is important. Although from what I remember, I don't need a lot of foresters, because they, like, last time I played, I remember I was like, man, I have way too many. I have so much extra wood, and I don't need it. Because the foresters make all of our wood for us, so we don't have to go around and chop trees constantly, like you would normally have to do in a game like Minecraft. Especially since we don't have... well, there is kind of like a tree capitator, tree felling thing already in the game. It gets rid of, like... I would say sometimes it gets rid of all of the leaves, but sometimes it leaves a bunch of leaves in the air. So it kind of works, but it misses a lot sometimes. So, having to not do that is still nice. I wonder if there's mods. I know there's mods for Minecraft where you can, like, build factories and stuff, sort of. Maybe not full-fledged factories like Satisfactory or Factorio, but I know you can build, like, a bunch of machines and stuff, and mills and things like that in certain mod packs. I wonder if there's one that's sort of like Colony Survival, where you get a bunch of minions or creatures or something, or characters that do different things like these guys do with the farming and whatnot. There probably is. I feel like that has to exist. It's probably an extremely old Minecraft mod pack from when people still cared about the mod packs for Minecraft and didn't just make a bunch of annoying mini games and stuff for the Minecraft multiplayer. Alright. I feel like that's definitely the main thing that probably drags down pretty much all games, from what I've seen, is like too much of a focus on the competitive part of video games, or making games too multiplayer focused. Like, obviously, the trend for the past couple decades with making things more, what's the word? I forgot. I don't know how I forgot this word, because it haunts me all the time. Like, with all the microtransactions and stuff, doing that, that's obviously been the worst thing in games, but I think the other part of it is, making the people that you get feedback from and design the whole game around are the people, like the YouTubers and the people playing the competitive version of the game constantly. I feel like those are the least, not the least valuable, like they're equally valuable as the other people, but like the people making major decisions about games think that they're the most valuable part of the community, and they're actually not at all. They're just one part of the community, and then you need to also listen to the more casual players and the people who aren't, like, making mods and all that stuff. And, you know, lately there's been too much of a focus around, oh, this is gonna be, like, the next PUBG, this is gonna be the next Fortnite, this is gonna be the next Call of Duty, this is it, you know, and then you get all of these big esports tournaments going on and stuff, and then the game suddenly becomes really toxic somehow, and then the community just like silently dies out of nowhere, and you can't really point fingers. Usually you can't point fingers to just one exclusive update, unless it's something like Overwatch 2, where they release Overwatch 2, delete Overwatch 1, and then say, oh man, this is so great. Meanwhile, everybody's saying, wow, Overwatch 1 was actually superior in every way compared to this thing. But the only people that think Overwatch 2 is actually better than the first game are the content creators and the competitive people. And I feel like the transition from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2 is like the example that really encapsulates how that ruins games and franchises. Another example is Halo, but to like a more stretched out degree. Like the issue with Halo dying out is because you had a bunch of people in like the competitive spaces and the content creation spaces who were very multiplayer focused and everything, and competitive focused, giving input, and then, you know, obviously there's the out of touch developers who like don't know what they're doing at all. But then, you know, the people who are super competitive and stuff, they're telling them to add a bunch of stuff from other games and lose the identity of the franchise. And now everybody just hates Halo. And it's like, how did this happen? How did Halo go from, you know, Bill Gates handing out the first copy of Halo 3 in 2008 at a GameStop to, wow, I really don't care if they ever make another Halo game, because it sucks. You know, how did the Halo community change that much? And I think the large part of that is the culture around content creation and competitive play in games, because people really don't realize the immense value of the casual gamers out there, like in casual games and stuff. And that doesn't mean that every game needs to be stupid and dumbed down and can never be competitive. Like, the competitive scene is important in games too, and the multiplayer aspects and everything like that are huge and important. But the problem recently has been that it's become like the only thing that people care about. It's like, oh, if it's not hugely competitive in multiplayer with massive leaderboards and all of the content creators and stuff buying all of the DLCs and giving you instant updates constantly and all that blah blah blah, then the game's trash, it's garbage. But it's like, nah, dude. If you look throughout video game history, it seems like some of the best video games that have been coming out since video games ever began have been the ones that have taken a balance between all of the different aspects of the community, from the competitive to the casual and everything like that. And the most successful games don't become too focused in one direction or the other, and in or the games are focused like that from the very beginning. Like, for example, League of Legends is a successful game because it started out competitive and it stays competitive, and it constantly is focused around competitive play, and there's like nothing casual about it at all. And that's how it was made in the first place. So that's like fine. And then there's other things that are casual from the start, and then they stay casual. And, you know, you have things like Stardew Valley that are like that. It's not meant to be competitive at all, and it's very casual and relaxed in every way for the most part. And then the part of Stardew Valley that makes it... The thing that makes Stardew Valley become less fun and less entertaining for people to play or watch or anything like that is when they start to min-max everything and they become competitive with it. And they focus on making like grandstanding titles and things like that for content creation. Then you learn all of the different secrets and ins and outs of the game and it starts to become boring. Whereas the best parts of the game are when you're just chilling, having a good time, running around farming and mining and doing your thing, you know? Yeah, I feel like that's just the biggest thing that's been affecting game development lately and making it terrible. But I've also been browsing a lot of the games on Steam lately. I have over 15,000 games set to ignore on Steam, so I have been browsing a lot, and I have... Is it 200? Is it 200 games right now? Let me check. I might have... No, I have 192 at this second games on Steam wishlisted. So there are good games being developed and made, and I think the main ones that appeal to me are the ones that are focused at the start and stay focused, or they how you say, they keep a balance. That's right. They keep a balance between the casual and the competitive play, so you can play either or. And if you look at a game like Team Fortress 2, that's a good example of a game where it's kept a balance between the competitive play and the casual play, where you can goof around and have fun, but you can also go super tryhard mode and still have fun as well. And there's a balance between those things. And if you become too extreme, where you become casual constantly or competitive constantly, then that's where it becomes like less fun, and it's more fun when you do a little bit of everything, where you try to have fun with the goals and not take it too serious, but you also like try to achieve things in the game, and that's like that perfect balance right there. And that's why a lot of games struggle to succeed, I think, when they get released. They what do you call it? They like pancake. They flip-flop too much back and forth between, do I want to be competitive or do I want to be a casual game? And then they sort of like fizzle out because they can't maintain a consistent style of how they want to game. Man, this is looking great. We're almost done on this. We got like a couple more blocks to get rid of, like 3 or 4 more, something like that. Just a couple more layers down, and then we'll have a nice view of the landscape outside. That would be nice. Yeah. And obviously all the overpricing and microtransaction in games, that's obviously been an issue for a long time. And there's been plenty of times where I've ranted about that while streaming, in recordings, all sorts of stuff like that, blah blah blah. So, and I'm sure you've heard plenty of people say it over the years. So, we'll spare you that rant again. But that's also a problem. What's another problem in games? If I were to think of any other ones. So there's like the monetary thing, there's the game development, like competitive versus casual gameplay, and then there's the issue with developers. Like some developers are, there's like a mixed issue with developing a game, and I know what the problem is. So I think Valve does a pretty okay job with their game development, where they don't, like, just keep releasing a million different copies of the same game over and over until everybody hates playing it because there's too many DLCs and too many copies, and all of your friends can't get the fucking game because they don't have $6,000 to spend on, you know, all of the Call of Duties and all of their DLC. So they've opted for releasing a few games and keeping the quality of them steady and keeping them balanced and mostly the same in development. And that's turned out to be, like, hugely successful. If you look at, like, Team Fortress 2 and Half-Life and stuff, like, they still make a lot of sales and people still play that a lot. And, you know, there's Gary's mod, that's fucking still insanely popular. How many decades has that been out? And, yeah, like, compare that to the development cycles of, like, Activision, Blizzard, Ubisoft, and EA. It's like day and night compared to Valve. But this doesn't mean that Valve has also had, like, the cleanest track record with a lot of stuff. They've had a lot of flack from all the different communities for their lack of input. So they're, like, popular for keeping their quality consistent and not exploiting their audiences for the most part. And then they've kind of dropped the ball on communication a lot of times. But at the same time, you could sort of say that their communication has been pretty honest. Like, when people say, where's Half-Life 3, or, like, where's updates for Team Fortress 2 and stuff like that, they probably just don't bother communicating that because they don't have any plans for it. And I'm pretty sure if they've ever been asked about it, they just say that they're not worrying about that project. And, you know, like, it's good that they're just being straight up about it in some ways, but they're also, like, not revealing it. They also, like, are kind of, not clear about it at the same time, where they like to give vague answers, where they're like, yeah, we're not really focused on that project right now, or something along those lines. So it's like, are they making Half-Life 3? Are they making updates for other games like Counter-Strike or Team Fortress or things like that? And, it's sort of unclear. So, but they're also, like, trying to always work with a scalpel and always make masterpieces, which I mean is, like, it's okay, because, you know, they do make some masterpieces. So obviously they just want to keep rolling with what's worked for them so far. But at the same time, you know, you can't expect people to play Half-Life 2 for 20 years and not get bored, or any of the other games. So being able to release multiple games is probably healthy. It's nice that they don't do what some other developers do and have a ridiculous amount of DLC that you have to buy, as they just keep updating the game over and over and over and over for no reason. And, like, releasing DLC that should have already been in the game, that's another issue other developers have. Like, when Valve, like, releases DLC, it's usually just cosmetic things, or it's, like, things that make sense as DLC. But then there's other games where it's like why did you make horse armor a DLC, or why did you make so many different overpriced DLC items instead of just developing a sequel to your current game? And that's, I feel like, another huge problem in the gaming community that people don't talk about, besides the, you know, the competitive versus casual thing that I mentioned earlier. There's also the development of the online service model, and the constant release of DLC versus the constant release of sequels. Like, if you look at the Paradox development cycle for all of the Paradox games, they make a game and then they just constantly make DLC for it, and the DLC no one wants to buy, and it's like overpriced, and it's like, dude, I just make a sequel. Like, nobody ever says just make a sequel. They just criticize the DLC and go, "Aw, man, these developers are really getting annoying." The solution would be to make the consumer more happy and the developer more happy is to just stop releasing a million different overpriced DLCs. Oh, thank you for the follow, by the way. Appreciate it. For Paradox, they should, like, stop making a million different DLCs and should start just making a sequel. Because the sequel will probably sell better and draw in a larger audience, and, you know, it'll make all of the fans happier, because the people who want to stay with the older game will stay with the older game, and the people that want more will buy the sequel. And so you'll make more money. You'll make more money because you're gonna appeal to a wider audience if you improve your existing thing. Like, you know, if you look at Halo versus Halo 2 versus Halo 3, it's just an objective truth that people are more willing to buy a sequel than your first game. Because, you know, population growth over time and new people getting into gaming are not going to want to buy all of the previous games. They're just going to buy whatever the latest game was and play that, you know? Like, why would I buy Halo 1 when I could buy Halo 5 so more people buy the newer one? But, you know, a large part of that audience is also looking at reviews and stuff, so when they see that Halo 5 sucks, they're gonna be like, alright, well, I think I just won't play Halo then. Because they're not gonna want to play the really old Halo. Or buy the latest Halo that sucks. So, I'm not saying that developers should just release crappy games as a sequel, but what they should release is just, like, the same game, but slightly better, with all the DLC that they were gonna make for that old game. And then they keep doing that over and over. You know, maybe every now and then they update their game engine. And, you know, you have a pretty great model like Bethesda used to have, where they made, like, you know, they brought Fallout to the better game engine, from instead of keeping it trapped in crappy DOS, like Fallout 1 and 2. And then they started making the Elder Scrolls they took it out of DOS and then put it into a better game engine, and made it more accessible to a much larger audience, and then they take content that was in the previous games and expand upon it. Except, one of the ways that Bethesda drops the ball compared to other competitors is they like to experiment way too much. They, like... And what I mean by that is, they added mechanics in some games, and then removed them in future games, but added new mechanics in future games. Which doesn't make any sense. Like, if you play, like, you know, if you play through all the Elder Scrolls games, you start to notice that you can craft spells in Morrowind, and then you get to Skyrim, and you can smith swords and stuff, but you can't craft spells anymore. And it's like, why did we take a step back here, but also a step forward? So it's like, when you make a sequel, you should, like, keep the things from the previous game, because that's gonna keep the audience from the previous game, right? If you get rid of like all of your systems too much and completely overhaul too many times, then people start to stop buying the sequels and they criticize you more, and they're like, what, why are you doing a completely different thing with the same franchise, you know? Just make a different IP. And that's one of the big issues with developers. They'll like they'll have really weird ways of just, they have really weird directions which don't make any sense. Like, not even from a money-making standpoint or an efficiency standpoint or anything like that. Like, simply put, the best money-making strategy and the best method of having a good reputation and everything like that is to basically just do the good thing from the start, or like do what Valve has done basically, and have like a good, like, release a good game and then just don't ruin it, and, you know, don't alienate your players, and just do the basic good stuff, you know? And then you just rake in profits, and then you just sit back and retire forever, and people like constantly give you praise. Now, if you want to be even more successful, then you're gonna have to not do what Valve has done and like just stop making any sequels and everything, and just like drip feed content to your games. That's like, that does gradually get people to stop liking you, which we're seeing with Valve. A lot of people have become disgruntled with Valve, not because they make bad stuff necessarily, but because, like, they're very drip feed with communication and content. They're very slow and methodical and deliberate. You know, they basically say, we're gonna develop things with all deliberate speed. Some of you history buffs will get that. And, yeah, it's really odd how Valve has decided to go about it, but if you compare them to all the other gaming companies, they're winning in every metric, basically. Like, they don't make headlines, but you really don't need headlines, and they continuously prove that all the time. Like, you don't hear about their platform Steam in all the different headlines, you just hear about, oh, there was this game, happened to be released on Steam, blah 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 blah. And it's like, your company goes from constantly being in the headlines for doing something new or flashy or sucking and getting worse, to your company is literally just like the baseline, the metric to be measured by, and the standard thing that everybody is always checking out, you know? So when people are talking about like other stuff, you're like the backdrop. And that's like insanely powerful. Like, I don't know how to better word it. When you're the platform that all of the other shitty companies have to use to even access an audience, you know, you're pretty fucking successful. You're not just like the dealer or the middleman. You are literally everything and everything in between, except for the literal developer and everything, or the literal consumer of everything. But you are how everything gets done. And a lot of companies really fail to mimic that. And it's with how many times the failed process has been repeated, you would think it's intentional at this point. How many companies fail and just crash and burn constantly and ruin IPs, and some of them have been caught admitting that they are purposefully trying to ruin certain IPs and stuff, but, you know, that gets into, like, politics and culture things and blah blah blah, and, you know, I don't need to get into that on this channel, but, yeah, like, no, you don't get the best viewers on that website. That's definitely not legitimate. Enjoy the ban, bot, and please do not return to my Twitch channel. I appreciate your... I don't appreciate your lack of support. Anyways. Yeah. Game development. I feel like game development... Like, there is some tricky part of it, and the tricky part is, if you're already successful, then odds are, if you just do the bare minimum, you're gonna be successful. Again. The tricky part is, if you're not already successful, then even if you successfully do the right things, you may end up just unsuccessful simply because you're not popular. And, you know, that's a whole societal commentary thing I have, where, you know, people generally just like things just because they're popular, and not many people have a value for things beyond just, oh, this is popular, it must be good, or, oh, this is popular, well then I can manipulate this to get something, or something like that, you know? And that's how a lot of people are stuck thinking, where they're like, oh, I have to do the popular thing, or I have to think the popular way, or I have to develop a product the popular way. And it's like, no, if you look at anything in history, it's pretty much shown where, as long as you're doing something generally good, people like it, but the caveat is the popular part. It has to be seen by enough people, and then all of those people have to have an opinion on it. So, when you're making a game, easy step is making the game in an ethical way, making it good, all of that stuff. The hard part is the PR, the popularity, the clicks, the views, all of that stuff. Because if people, you know, are at least viewing your product, then, or talking about the product, or, you know, two people are saying, hey, do you want to get this game? Then that's like making it right there. You basically made it. And that's just rolling the dice. I haven't found any way to circumvent that. If I did, there would be the chat would be going insane right now, and there would be a lot more views than one constantly on this channel. Yeah, that's the only hard thing about making games, or just other stuff similar, like content creation and stuff, is winning that lucky roll of the dice to become a popular thing. And it doesn't even have to be, like, popular necessarily, but, like, more popular than it currently is as soon as it's released or made. So, making your game easy. Getting it to reach a headline, or having a famous content creator who already has an audience to play your game, and then that audience then also plays the game themselves, and then they start communicating with people online. All of that stuff is the hard part, because, you know, you can try talking to people in real life, but they're probably going to be like, you know what, I just don't even play video games, which is basically why I don't have any social life. Because I am only all about video games, and nobody else likes video games. Basically at all. Except for, like, if they do, then they only ever have time in their life to play basically one video game. Or a few, and I never seem to like any of those video games. Or that one video game that they like to play constantly. Or, you know, the other thing is, I don't have the money to buy the game that they have. And they're also probably about to buy a new one and stop playing the current one that they're playing all the time. So, you know, there's all of those issues that go into that. And that's another thing to consider with developing your game. If you are about to release your game, and let's say like your game is sort of like a Dungeons and Dragons game, where, oh god, this takes forever to mine. Wow, yeah, that still takes a long time to mine the ore. Good lord. If you're gonna release like a Dungeons and Dragons type game, where you have to do dice rolls and you're playing as like a, you know, an elf or a halfling or an orc or whatever, in some sort of fantasy old-timey setting, and your game, you're just a small one-person indie developer with no population at all, no media pull or anything like that, and you're gonna release your game it is well made, and you're gonna release it at the same time as Baldur's Gate 3, well, guess what? You're probably not gonna get popular at all, because you just so happened to roll your dice at the same time that someone is rolling their much more shiny, pretty-looking dice. And people will probably not look at your game at all. At least not for a long time. Because they're gonna get the more popular thing that's already getting talked about, and probably not touch your game for a while until they're already done and bored of Baldur's Gate 3, and then they're like, wow, that was good, I think I want to play another game like that. Or they'll completely avoid your game because they're like, wow, I enjoyed Baldur's Gate 3, but man, I don't want to play any Dungeons and Dragons type thing right now, I am all spent on that. So, now they won't even try your game, which sucks. It's like when you finish eating a cake, and you're like, oh man, that cake was good, and then someone says, hey, you want some pie? And you're like, dude, I just ate a fucking cake, why would I want pie right now? It's that. So, they're gonna have to wait a while before they try your game now. And, yeah, that's another tricky thing. You kind of have to be careful about your release dates. So, you can do the right thing, you can even have some people you know that would want to play your game, or you might be able to get into some headlines, but you also have to compete with the other things that are coming out, and the other headlines that are going to be talked about. So, you can probably release your Dungeons and Dragons type of game at the same time that Cyberpunk is coming out, which is completely different, because that's going to appeal to two completely different set of people. But you definitely should not release it at the same time as Baldur's Gate 3. You should probably separate that release date by, like, at least a couple months, because you need to wait for people's paychecks to balance out a little more after they just spent a bunch of money on Baldur's Gate 3, and if there's any, you know, super expensive DLC or stuff like that, or they got the collector's edition which costs like, you know, $250 or something like that, compared to the regular price of like $60 or something, they're probably going to stretch out their money for a while and not want to buy anything else. Then you release your game after like a month or two, and people might start buying that. If they didn't get Baldur's Gate 3, or they're done with Baldur's Gate 3 and they're down to try your game. So there's that. So some games can get buried by larger games, which stinks. Like on Steam, I've been finding a lot of pretty, like, decent looking games. And on stream I played some, like, more obscure games that have been pretty good, but I've never really seen them or seen them talk about it all because they just get constantly buried by other larger things. And even the larger stuff is probably lower quality than some of these smaller games that get developed. It sucks that they get buried, you know? Alright, are we, like, done digging out this, this mountain now? I think we're pretty much done. Once I make this a nice, like, climbable staircase type of thing. And then we'll hop back in our colony and we'll take a look at our lovely view that we have now. I just wanted to dig it down a little bit, because when you're looking over the edge of the mountain, you know, your view isn't just straight out and up, it's also down a little bit. So, I wanted to get rid of some of the mountain below as well. And at some point we'll probably get rid of all of that. Probably get rid of that. Yeah, we'll definitely get rid of both sides of this eventually. But this is fine for now. This will be good for a while. Just so we can see things and not a wall constantly. And what we'll do, jump in our colony somewhere. Oh my god. Is that the... I thought that was water for a second. That's the sound of the torch. What a weird torch sound. Alright, let's jump here, jump here. Gotta hardcore parkour our way up here. There we go. Okay. Bam, 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 bam. Sweet. Oh yeah, that's so much better. Oh, that looks good. I should probably dig this down a little more at some point, but that is already way better than just a crappy stone wall. We can see way out there now. Look at that. It's like a biome thing we need to check out. Let's actually just go do that now. Let's do a little exploring. We haven't done like any exploring at all. And this will also give us a good chance to go get some more wood. We do have a lot of wood. We don't really have a lot of leaves and saplings, so yeah, let's get some saplings and some leaves. And yeah, then we'll be set on wood and stuff that we need for our colony. Really good stuff. Yeah. Do want to dig more leaves. Check out that biome over there. And what do we need to do some science? We need we have pottery, we need stone tools and more stone tools. Okay, before we go exploring then, let me get the crafter guy. Let me tell this crafter guy that we have to make some tools. And then, while we're away, he'll make the tools, which is going to take him a very long time to make. And then we can do some science, because I don't think we can... We can't manually craft tools. We can... The mill probably can. No, the mill can't even make stone tools. So yeah, we definitely need to have this crafting guy make them. Let's head over there. He's going to sleep now, so we won't have any of them getting made at the moment, but we will eventually. There's the guards over there doing their guard thing, guarding it up. Guarding all over the place, guarding so hard. Alright, let's get like, how many do we need for the science? We need 5, 8? Just 8 stone tools? Okay. Yeah, let's make 100 stone tools then. That way, if any workers start using the stone tools, it'll be fine. It won't use up all of them. Hopefully. A nice little staircase down now. We don't have to fall to our death immediately off the mountain. Like here, we have to be a lot more careful when going down. Very unsteady, very steep. I really hope that when we get foresters, we can get them to specifically do the log taiga instead of just the temperate logs, because I like the color of the darker wood. It looks nicer. Alright. Get some of this. We'll just collect some trees as we head away from our place. We're not gonna be able to collect all of these trees in a reasonable time, because I do want to do exploring and then a couple other things before we wrap up the stream for today. This. Yoink, yoink. Let's get at least 15 saplings, and then we'll just get walking. Once we have 15 saplings, we got 12 right now. And also once we get far enough, I'm pretty sure we lose access to our colony inventory, so that is important to consider as well. Oh, that's 15. Alright, I'll just chop out this tree real quick. Alright. That gives us a lot more wood, a lot more leaves, so whenever we get a forester, they should be set. So I wanted to go to that biome. I can't see it now because we're not nearly as high up as before, but I'm pretty sure it was like between those two distant hills, like just straight this way. Yep, we are too far away from our colony now, so we need to make sure that when we go back to our colony, we know which direction it is, which should be pretty easy because it looks like it's the only mountains nearby. Yeah, it's that mountain with the cut at the top with the perfect right angle right there. Yeah, that makes it pretty easy to remember. Ooh, hey, a berry bush. I'll take that. Why not? Couple of spare berries. That seems like a good idea. Can I put it down? Oh, dude, you can? Oh, that's sick. Alright. If I see any more berry bushes, I should just, like, put them over at this biome. That way, whenever we want to build a colony way out here, an outpost, if you will, we can have a berry bush to farm some food out here. Although we'll probably have different food sources we can use by that time. Oh boy, where was that place at? There it is, that place. I'm hoping it's not just a patch of sand and it is actually a different biome. These look like berries. Yeah, that's a berry. That one is not a berry bush. Is that a berry bush? No, that's just more leaves. Alright. I bet that one's a berry bush. I really can't tell. Oh, those are berry bushes, though. And those are berry bushes. There's a lot out here. We got the berry fields. My friend Barry. And I. Is that a berry bush? That is a berry bush. Yoink. Okay. Nothing else here at the moment. Not that I can see. This new biome should be right past this couple of trees here. Oh yeah, that's definitely the biome that we want. This is heath plants. Yeah, this is a biome. This is definitely a biome that we need. So the sand and these purple plants. Like, we don't need the sand per se, but there's like two different things that you get in this biome from mining in this area, and you get it from mining, like I just said, but you have to have part of your thing in the heath grass and part of it in the sand. So I think what I'll do is I'll just go right down the middle here. Wow, this sand takes a lot longer to mine than the dirt. Yeah, I can already notice how much slower that is. All I want to do is dig this to the point where it switches from sand to like its counterpart that's underground. There's like a, I think it's, no, I don't think it's called sandstone. I can't remember what it is, but there's something under the sand. I can't remember if it looks exactly like the sand or if it just looks similar. But there's like a different material, and it's pretty much everywhere underneath the sand. Can't remember what it's called, but we'll find out in a second. I just gotta keep mining here. I think you get lead? I could be wrong, but I think you get lead from this area. And then underneath the sand you get like something like sandstone or some weird thing like that, but I can't remember for sure. It's like hardened sand or usable sand or something like that. You just have to go really deep underground for it. That much I do know. We'll just make like a staircase now. The main thing is I wanted it to stand out in the landscape so it'd be easy to spot much later on when we actually start to do any building type stuff over here. This should be... Yeah, there it is, that stuff. I can't remember what that's called, but it's definitely called something. And as far as that lead or whatever is underneath the purple grass, let's see if we can find some of that. I don't know at all how deep that is, but now that I see the sand, I'm gonna guess that the stuff that's under the purple grass is way, 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 way lower. I could also be wrong. There might be no new materials underneath the purple grass, and it's just this hardened sand or whatever that you get in this area, which would kind of suck. I don't want to mine it. I'm trying not to mine it so fast that I can't, like, make the terrain usable, you know? Okay, how do I get rid of this frickin' stone rubble? Ah, yes, we have a trash. I will throw this in the trash, the leaves in the trash. I will keep the heath dirt and the heath plants, because I think that is useful for farming or something. I do want to keep this clay and this copper. Okay, that just places a clay block, and the copper you can't put back down. That kind of sucks, but keeping the clay and the copper is nice. So we do need some of that. Maybe it's coal. There's like this sand stuff, and then there's like coal. It's either lead or coal that you get here. Oh, wait. I think the super trees that we saw before is the coal, and then this area is the lead. Or maybe you get the marsh, you get the lead from the marsh. And then I think everywhere has iron? I didn't bring any torches. What a foolish mistake this was. I will be in darkness if I go any further. Alright, we're gonna stop here and go back up so we can drop off some of this loot that we have. Question mark? Uh-oh. That doesn't seem right. Inventory is full. New items may be discarded. Okay, interesting. Silica sand. Interesting. Alright, so you can't, apparently that's just a no-no. I think that might be one of the mods that was supposed to let you pick stuff up and then put it down to be used, so you can move the ores to a more useful position. I don't think that's working, unfortunately. Let's go right here, and let's just put down these berry bushes real quick. Oh, I can't put them down on sand. Okay, interesting. I was not expecting that to be a thing. Alright, well, I guess I can't put it down on sand. I do want to make like a very obvious structure that stands out. Why can't I jump? I can't jump high enough to put... Oh, you can't put berry bushes on top of other berry bushes, apparently. Okay. Just learning all kinds of rules now. I'll just put sand over top of the berries to make that obvious. And then on this side, I will make like a sand type of pyramid thing. So that way, when we're trying to approach it from a distance, it'll be easier to spot. Do that. Yes. Ah, there we go. And we'll just keep making this thing taller. Just so we can have a nice visible biome area out here. So is that like taller? Oh yeah, I can see the mountain from here. Okay. So I think if we add just a couple more pieces here. There we go. All right. Right there. Yeah, we should be able to see this from the mountain. If not, I mean, we could barely see this entire pink sand area from the mountain as it is, so this probably isn't much, but this will at least make it obvious when we're running through the forest from the mountain. Owie, I just hurt myself a little. And I do see another... I think they're called mammoth trees. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be called mammoth trees. But that one is like past this biome. I want to avoid having to go further than we have to. So let's run back to the mountain. Drop off the couple of goodies that we got here. Some sand. And the heath plants, which we can grab a couple more of while we're here. Yes. There we go. 45. There we go. In fact, let's get 5 more and then make it 50. There we go. That's a nice number. And it could be possible that we needed some of this for whatchamacallit. The thing, science, some sort of science. Possibly. It's entirely possible. At some point we will make this river go into the mountain, but that'll be some other stream of this. We can worry about that later. Let's put away these goodies and then find out where that one biome was with the super trees. Can't remember where it was. Way back there. It's not that way. Are those trees on top of a mountain over there? I'm not sure. That could just be the mountain I messed up by mining it from super far away. Wow, we walked a very, very long ways to get here. Holy cow. We really can see a lot from the top of the mountain, because this is way further than I thought it was. When we initially left, I just was mining a bunch of trees, so I thought it was like far, but I was just taking my time. But now that I'm like trying to beeline straight back to the mountain. Hey, there we go. We're back in range. Put all of this away. We do have 25 stone tools, so we can get wheat farming. Wheat gruel amongst the farmers, some straw roof. We get new texts. We can get the smelter, furnace, wood, copper, all that good stuff. Pottery gives us water stuff. Okay, so we can do stuff with water a lot faster than I thought. And then we can eventually get the merchant's hub. This is what increases monster threat, the merchant's hub. We can get mud bricks, planks and clay, yeah. That's the clay that we just mined. That's useful. So the copper ingots we can't craft ourselves. We're going to need a dude to do that for us. Get ore blocks from the trader guy. That would be nice. Eventually we're going to do that. We're right next to the mountain now, so we can climb back up and get some of that, get some of the things started. Did we get any new jobs with the command tool? Oh yeah, the wheat farmer. Okay. Wheat farmers can have way larger fields than the berry farmers, so we could set up a wheat farmer real quick. Is that a super tree? No, I think that's just a regular tree way over there by the cursor. Yeah. If I can't easily tell that it's a giant tree, then it's probably not a giant tree. Very difficult to get up this mountain. And it should be very obvious once we're up here where the super tree is. I feel like it was on that side. Yeah, there it is. There it is. I was gonna say, I feel like it's on that side of the mountain. So before we leave again, let's make sure... Yeah, he's gonna make all these different jobs we just unlocked. And then there's wheat gruel. Let's not worry about doing anything with the wheats just yet. Let's get 10 of these job blocks made. Water gatherers would be nice. Let's get 10 mining jobs, all of that stuff. Planks. Let's make sure that we have 500 instead. Alright, cool. Why are they going all the way back to the banner? Why would you walk all the way back to the banner when you have a storage box right next to you? Which, are you seriously from the berry farm way the fuck over here? Oh my god. Oh, they're not going back to put away their berries. They're going back here to get their meals. That's right. I forgot about that. Right. Eventually we get a block called a grocery. It's either a grocery or a grocery store, one of the two. And we can put that down so whenever they want to get their meals, they don't have to go back to the flag. That's right. The boxes are only for crafting materials, and like if they're farming, they can put away the materials like that. He just put away all his berries in there. But once they have to eat, which is like twice a day, something like that, they had to go all the way back to the banner. I did not remember that until I just saw that. Okay. That is important to know. So yeah, I don't build like a bunch of jobs super far away from the banner. At least not yet. Eventually we can. When do we get that? That thing, that grocer, whatever. There it is, grocery shop right there. So we need to get the porridge researched. Which we... Okay, so it's all just hinging on the merchant. Once we get the merchant's hub built, shit is really gonna hit the fan. Everything starts coming together after we get that. So let's make sure we have all our ducks in a row, that type of thing. Let's go check out this other biome real quick, the big tree, the mammoth tree, I believe. Grab a couple of berry bushes. Which, again, we probably don't need by the time we actually need the ore from these other biomes, but just in case, it'd be nice to have a couple of berry boys. Alright, boys. Bury 'em. Just start pelting them with berries. No, no! Anything but that. Shit. Am I going the right way? I'm pretty sure I'm going the right way. I think it's this way. I actually can't remember for sure. I think it was like straight diagonal from our mountain. It's like a little hill over here. Hopefully I can see from there. Yeah, I should be able to see from up here. Yeah, that tree... Wait a minute, that looks a lot farther than I thought. There's one. Crap. Now I have no idea. Hang on a second. I am not sure at all. That tree, right? Yeah. Yeah. We want to go to that tree right there. Okay. I'll take that. I just accidentally discovered that one of the mods is going to let me duplicate wood. Okay. So I can do that if I really, really want to. Whoops. Is that a... No, that can't be a pink area right next to the super tree. That would be so busted. That may have just been the way the light is hitting the sand over there. Maybe that's just a big sand patch, because I remember that being a thing. There's like sometimes big sandy patches in random areas. And you can tell it's like not supposed to be a desert. That doesn't go there at all. And now I just picked up some grass. Oh jeez, and that grass doesn't... Oh no, that doesn't fit at all. There we go, I wanted the berries. Berries. Yum, 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 yum. Love me some yummy berries. Alright, boys. Bury 'em. Alright, boys. It's my favorite element. Bury 'em. What do we have here? Oh, no way. Dude. Cherry blossom trees. Holy shit. That's fucking sweet. Hell yeah. Oh, dude, that's awesome. They still give you regular wood, but they're cherry blossom trees instead of, other trees. That's cool. I like that. Take a couple of those. Don't think I'll ever need them or be able to use them for anything, but I'll just get a couple of the leaves to say I've been there, done that type of thing. God, we mine so quick some of the blocks and other blocks we don't, so it's hard for me to just like pick up the berries and not pick up anything else. There's a lot of berry bushes around here. Wow. It's like a wonderland over here. You got the trees, the cherry blossom trees, you got berries, you got the super tree. It's a lot better than the other direction, which was just, Is that like a palm tree? Is that a thing in this game? I didn't think that was a thing in this game. That actually might be, there might be palm trees. Because that looks way different from all the other trees around here. I can't help myself with these goddamn berry bushes. I'm an addict now. I can't stop collecting them. It's like, ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. It's so addictive. I feel like I have to get all of the berry bushes. It feels like it's mission critical, like my life depends on it. Like if I don't get them, I can't advance. Wow, look at this. This is definitely a beach. There is some land way over there in the distance generating. Is that just a really tall tree in the middle of the sand, or is it like a actual palm tree? Is that a berry bush? That is a berry bush. That's also a berry bush. So many over here. Way more than by the mountain. Who knew berries don't grow at the top of a snow-covered mountain? That's just regular trees over there. I think this might just be a tall, regular tree. Yeah, because there's like a patch of grass in the middle of the sand. So this is just a tall, regular tree. Oh, there's some more cherry blossom trees. That's awesome. This is like a cool area here. Unfortunately, there's no like no like use for it or anything like that. There's no like villages or anything I could build like we did in Minecraft for 8 months. Not gonna lie, now that I think about it, I kind of want to do that again. It did not run well at all because of that underground village. So if I do that again, I will not do an underground village. But man, that I really want to do that again. Make a bunch of villages in Minecraft. That was so cool. I could just resume where we left off, but the performance on it is terrible. That's right. That's why I still have a bunch of zip files sitting on my desktop. I was gonna make my own mod pack, which turns out to be like so much more annoying for Minecraft than any other game ever. I do want to do that though. Get my own mod pack started for Minecraft, which I found a bunch of cool mods, but the only problem with it is the mods, like the mods are not all the same type, which I didn't realize was going to be a thing. There's apparently some, they have like 2 different names, like one of them is Forge and then one of them is something else. It's like, it's not Ethereum, whatever it's called, but I'm just gonna say Ethereum just to have another word to say. It's like one of them's Forge and the other one's like Ethereum or something. Fabric, yeah, that's it. Thank you, Mox. Welcome to the chat. Popping out from the lurking corner. Yeah, Fabric and Forge. So I have a bunch of them downloaded, and I've been here, Lameo. I have a bunch of Forge and Fabric mods all sitting on my desktop for goodness knows how many months since we stopped playing Minecraft to make my own mod pack to stream Minecraft again. Just been mostly muted because I'm streaming. You're streaming at the same time? What are you doing in my chat? Go do your stream. Be an entertainer or something. I don't know. Or are you just streaming is your stream based on watching bad streamers struggle to do the most basic streaming things, and that's why you're watching me? Because that could be a stream idea right there. You're not a bad streamer. I'm not a bad streamer. What does someone have to do to be a bad streamer if I'm not a bad streamer? Just inexperienced. I see. Anyways, back to my lurk corner. That's right. Get back in the corner. Sit in the chair in the corner. Yeah, Fabric and Forge. That's right. So I have all of the Fabric mods and all the Forge mods, but you can't run them. You can't run them at the same time together for whatever reason. They have 2 different systems. Blah blah blah. File management mumbo jumbo. But I did get all of the mods, and Do I still have the video pinned? I've had a video pinned on my... Yeah, I still have it. How to change the version of a mod, parentheses, Minecraft fabric mods. So I'm currently at the point, for however many months this has been, I've had a YouTube video pinned on how to change the version of a mod, and I started doing it and then did not do it. Yeah. Because it seems like they could work together, because the only issue that kept popping up in the launcher, at least the only thing that it was telling me, was that the mods wouldn't work together because they're not the correct version. So I have to, at least from what I can tell, it looks like I have to manually change the version of them to get them to work properly. So I need to figure out how to do that. I really should have brought torches over here, because I am not going to be able to see what I'm doing once we get deep enough to actually get the ore that we're trying to get here. That was a very foolish mistake. Oh, you know what would be sick, though? If I get a bunch of cherry blossoms, and then I can mark this tree, the super tree with cherry blossoms, to make it easier to tell where I want to build this outpost at. So let's do that real quick. Let's go get some cherry blossoms. Do I want to just butcher these ones? Yeah, I'll just butcher these ones. Why not? I'll just butcher some of these ones over here. But yeah. I have no idea what launcher. I think I was still using the Feed the Beast launcher, and it works. I think. Yeah, I booted it up with the mods that I had, and it seemed like it listed all of the mods, but it just said, blah blah blah, don't work because they're not right version. And I was like, dang, okay. This is annoying. But that's always seemed how Minecraft mods are for me. I don't know if anyone else has had an easier time with them, but personally, the mods seem to be very annoying, specifically with Minecraft. Other games have been way more straightforward. Heck, even trying to figure out how to get mods for freaking, like, Oblivion and Daggerfall was more straightforward than trying to figure out mods for Minecraft. I don't know what the hell it is about Minecraft and the Minecraft engine, or whatever the hell is going on with this system, but it is actually completely unique to anything else. It is like an alien entity. Like, trying to figure it out and diagnose it is completely a Google-based adventure. Constantly searching it up and going through fucking multiple, like, search engines, practically different rabbit holes to go down, and all of the different forums online on how to figure out how to just get the different things to work together. I don't know why I like cherry blossom trees so much. Oh my god. It's just pink. I don't know what it is about the pink fucking trees, but they just look so good to me, in my opinion. They just make a setting way better. It's like, what if this was just Japan now? I think I'll just make this look like Japan. And then suddenly everything looks like Japan, and it looks so much better than it ever could have. Yeah. But that's the progress so far on the, Minecraft, the next Minecraft series. It has been on pause for however long since I last streamed Minecraft. With no progress really being made. But that's one of the many different projects I have going on in life. I just, like, I have this serious issue. I'm pretty sure it's like a mental defect where I'm, like, so hyper obsessed with trying to be able to do lots of things, and I constantly try to start new things and become mediocre successful to amateur successful at that thing, and then I never fully flesh it out to its maximum potential. For example, streaming. And then I also am pursuing lots of other things. I have like trying to learn to sew, and that's I can do a really disgusting patchwork. And I have a writing thing. I'm trying to write a whole sci-fi universe as well. You can guess at how many years I have been working on that with basically zero progress. And yeah, I'm sure there's other stuff that I can't think of right now. At one point, I had the thought of taking up fucking like pottery or something so I could make my own dishes instead of buying dishes. Because like that's why I wanted to learn how to sew, so I wouldn't have to buy so many clothes. I could just sew up little holes that show up in clothing and whatnot, so I wouldn't have to throw away any clothes that get damaged or stuff. So like if I just learn, basically I just want to do Minecraft in real life. That's all I'm trying to do. I just, you know, I will find an unclaimed plot of land that no country owns, and then build a house on it with materials that I have mined, scavenged, and gathered on my own from plants that I have planted. Like, like literally, that would be the dream, is to just Minecraft in real life so hard that I never ever play video games ever again, because I'm just doing video games in real life. You know, I've long had this theory, and it's not really a theory, it's exactly how I think. The number one reason that people play video games or otherwise become, like, in a way addicted to video games is largely because of how much the planet has been taken up by a bunch of stuff, to the point where you can't use the land yourself to do anything or even like play outside and stuff like that. So like you can't just like go out and build a house. Now it's like, oh, I saw you didn't trim your lawn the correct height. That's gonna be a couple $100 fine, and if you don't pay it in about a week or two, or it gets lost in the mail when we send it to you without warning, then yeah, we're gonna have to take you to prison. Like, if there were more things to do outdoors with less issues, then you basically could not get people to play video games or do anything inside. But now, because we've become so urbanized and city-based, like, cities are just so fucking disgusting. They're like the epitome of anti-humanism. Just being anti-human. You will live in a coffin and stay glued to your screen and you will be happy, basically. Like, that's awful. So if you want people to be able to actually, like, go outside and enjoy life and things like that, then I think that the top thing to do is to give them land and space and the ability to do things just outdoors, like they have been genetically engineered to do since the conception of mankind. Because at this point we've decided as a species that eugenics is very bad, and you know, I would not advocate for, I would not say I am generally in support of, in any capacity, that sort of eugenics that would make us want to live in a coffin and stay glued to a screen. I feel like it would be a lot better if we just had more nature space to be able to enjoy doing Minecraft in real life, because I feel like that is like the ultimate awesome thing to be like, hell yeah, I'm driving a car that I made from materials that I mined and that I fashioned and gathered from this planet that I live on. I feel like at some point, you know, I spend a lot of time fantasizing about the distant future and how badly I just want to be able to get into the distant future and be able to do things like live across multiple planets and to solve a lot of humanity's issues. Like not just like hot button political issues of the moment, but like I'm talking serious long-term major, just like fundamental living of life problems we can solve by getting into the future. So like getting across multiple planets and stuff like that. Uh, you know, people say, oh, we have a housing crisis. Well, dum-dum, if you facilitated orbital habitats and the ability to live on the moon and Mars, suddenly there wouldn't be a housing crisis at all. So, you know, not to get too political, but space. Wow, look at this. This is just like a... If I get rid of all of these freaking logs right here, there is just this big, beautiful, like, canopy. That's the word. That's a good word for it. A canopy of wonderful looking cherry blossom leaves, and I love it. Dude, imagine how sick it would be if you could have your own planet and you could just plant cherry blossom trees all over it and then kill off all of the other ugly ass trees on the planet. And then I would also like exterminate all of the bushes and just replace them with bamboo. I would also gladly genocide wasps and hornets, which add no benefit to their environment and are actually just the worst things ever. And I think I have unfortunately just completely lost where I was. I'm pretty sure it was this big tree, right? I'm pretty sure we were at this big tree. I hope. Otherwise, I am completely lost, because I don't have the coordinates to get back home or anything. But I'm pretty sure it was this tree. Or that tree. It's one of these two big trees. I think it's this one. But, yeah. I'm an ideas guy. As evidenced by the fact that I have, like, no follow-through on this, Twitch, YouTube, social media, content thing. Because I developed the big picture concept, and then I suck at the little steps, and that's, like, a story of my life, basically. I need to have a lot more focus on the little details and all of the little steps that you need to take to get to that point, you know? I want to make like a roof sort of thing here. Yeah, let's do like a little staircase going up. No one's ever going to use this staircase. This is literally just basically scaffolding for me to go up here. So I can have a cool marker on this tree for, hey, this is the tree we're going to use. Yeah, let's make like a leaf canopy, make it look like a tree. How do you make a tree look like a tree? That type of thing. There we go. That looks sort of tree enough to where it's not looking just like an awful staircase. Just barely, though. Just barely. Alright. Now we're actually starting to reach some of the leaves here, so I want to go above these leaves, but below the next set of leaves. And I want to then make start making bundles of the pink leaves. Yeah, there we go. It's getting thinner? Why would the trunk of the tree get thinner at this point? I mean, I guess that makes sense from a actual physical standpoint, but let's see, our mountain should be that one of those mountains over there that we're gonna head back to in a little bit. So we have this trail wrap around here, and then we're just sort of gonna expand on top of this, and I want to sort of fill this in. I still want to be able to walk up and down it, but I also want to create some tree here, if that makes sense, using these pink leaves. The owl is owling it up right now. Owling so hard. Owling all over the place. Some say an owl unlike any other. Okay, went sort of down. Gotta get up to get down tonight, basically. There we go. Alright. There we go. Yeah, sweet. Okay, this is gonna turn out pretty good, I feel like. God, I hope so, because this is getting to be very dangerous, but also hopefully looking pretty cool by the end, and I really hope the effort that I put into this pays off. I have used one stack, which means we should probably start focus on going taller. Yeah, we'll cut into the leaves above us here. Yeah. Very dark now that the sun has completely set again. Oh yeah, look. You can see some of the light coming from whatever torches we have over there. That's sick. The signs of civilization in the distance. That's so cool. Dude, that just like triggered like a feeling of wonder and awe that I haven't had in video games for a long time. Like really want to get like a space exploration game, like what if they made No Man's Sky but they made it good, that type of thing. Like there's like a bunch of story-based like 2D flat sci-fi vaguely games. It's like, ugh, I don't want to do the fucking JPEGs bouncing up and down. If you get the irony in that statement. Yeah. I don't want that. I want like a freaking real thing like Stellaris, but if it wasn't just a map game that everybody says is boring and lame, but I find incredibly addicting and have spent hundreds of hours playing. Dude, let me tell you, that would be fucking sick. Like, imagine if Baldur's Gate was like space and it wasn't shitty, annoying dice rolls. But it also wasn't Like, oh, dude, take like the Fallout 4 or a similar sort of system with the combat and the building and the gathering and collecting, and then like put that on like a planet scale, right? Make it like a combine some of the RimWorld colony management aspects with the Fallout 4 colony building management aspects, but then like the planet traveling and crazy shit from like Elite Dangerous and No Man's Sky, that type of shit. That would be fucking baller. But then, you know, all of the multi-billion-dollar companies are going, oh, but it'd be so expensive. Oh, it would just really hurt the bottom dollar if we actually, if we took time and effort to make the game good and didn't fill it with microtransactions. Oh, what are we ever gonna do? What am I gonna do without my 3 cents to continue? Oh, please pay 3 cents to repair your weapon in the video game. Oh, that would be so cool though, dude. And then you could like so you're like sort of doing a Minecraft thing, but you also have like, and it could have just like any super cool story, but man, I hope it doesn't have some dumb generic story that sucks ass and is about mysterious hidden aliens that you don't know about, like fucking No Man's Sky, or those 10 other shitty games that came out between the years of 2012 to 2018, or no, 2012 to 2024, where you travel to a planet alone and then there's like hidden mysterious things, and they basically try to copy the story of Subnautica but do it really terribly in the most boring fucking way possible. Imagine if they did all of that, but it didn't fucking suck. That would be sick. And then the multiplayer would basically just be like GTA Online, and it would be cool because it's in space. Wait, why didn't I get the leaves? That was weird. I just mined that leaf and it didn't give me leaves for it. Oh, there's one pink leaf over there. Can I get that? Oh, it disappeared again. I mined it and it just disappeared. It didn't give it to me? What the hell? There's a couple more over there? Hey, I got one. Put that there. Alright, this should be pretty obvious from a distance. I think. We also got a lot more wood, which is nice, and I didn't mine down far enough to get to like coal or whatever it is that's underneath this big tree in the big tree biome. But there is supposed to be like coal, I think. I'm like so sure that it's coal because no other thing would make sense in my head. Because like a forest surely would be coal, where, you know, the biomatter from generations of things have broken down. Thus, the big giant tree would lead to big giant coal deposits. Makes sense to me. Capiche? And now the hunt for berry bushes has begun again. I am once again hooked after picking up those couple. Oh, that looks sick. Hell yeah. That came out pretty decent, I'd say. Maybe not as grand as I was hoping, but that definitely, definitely sticks out. Hell yeah, berry bushes, dude. I fucking love collecting berry bushes. Oh, dude, you know what would be sick? Oh, dude, you could build like... Oh, you could build like floating berry platforms. Oh my god, that'd be so cool. Such a cool colony idea. I'll have to just put these away for now, but dude... Oh, that'd be cool. I don't think there's any way to farm the cherry blossom leaves. Because the cherry trees don't have their own unique saplings. And I don't think they're like biome specific where they grow. It seems like it's just like, here's a couple of cherry blossom trees. Randomly. It didn't seem like it was like anything about the biome made it evident, you know, what was going to be cherry blossom trees and what wasn't. And plus, like, all of the trees in the area would have been pink, not just a couple. Is that our mountain? What, right there? That? Nope, that's just, it hasn't loaded in yet over there. Ah, there it is. There's the lights. I can barely see some torch light over there. That looks so cool. The lighting in this game, the lighting and the textures, like quite literally, just the lighting and textures. You know, it's still cube game. I'm pretty sure there's a key to go in a third person, but you know, the models could be better. But like literal, like this is where you get into the specifics of the vocabulary, the very specific vocabulary. Because shading and textures is good in this game. And that is true, but that is completely independent of model design and mechanics. Very distinct parts of a game. You have to be very careful with your wording so you communicate the correct part that looks off in this game. Oh yeah, you can tell. It still looks very cool from here. That awesome. Oh hey, we're in range now. I can tell because these things pop up in the top or left and right corners. This way, this. More berry meals got made while we were gone. Sweet. Oh my god, there's a berry bush right there. I'm gonna take that. Because I am addicted to collecting them now. Alright. Let's go ahead. Now that we confirmed that those biomes are the biome things that we want. Oh wow, it's already very far into the stream. A lot further than I thought. Let's at least get our ground to be more ground, if that makes sense. So all of this random snow inside our colony I want to get rid of. All of this and make it not snow. So way the zombie path sticks out more. That'll be a lot nicer. Sunset looks sick. Or no, that's the moonrise. It's not a sunset or a sunrise, it's a moonrise. Yeah, all the snow needs to go. All the snow needs to go. All the snow needs to go. Get rid of some of the snow to make this easier to see. I can easily tell where the hell my zombie path is. Because at certain angles and certain lighting, every single white block just becomes the same sort of amorphous blob. Yeah. Oh, that's the center of the colony. I'm nowhere close to the other side. I thought I was already there. I was like, what? Alright. All of this. Is this gonna be fine if I get rid of all the snow? Yeah, it looks like it. Alright. We don't have to flatten all this out. I just want to get rid of all the snow. Just to help the terrain start to look better. And then I want to see, do we have a ton of grass? We do have a lot of grass. It's unfortunately not all the same exact grass. But we do have a lot of grass. I want to fill this whole side of the banner with grass so we can do lots of different farming. And then the other side we can have for other stuff like crafting various things. And then we'll see if we have time to get the staircase started. Because I do want to be able to pick out where we're going to have the beds. And I also want to dig down far enough to find out where that water level is going to be. Yeah. All of this. Oh, what are the setting? Mouse and keyboard. I think it's like an F key. Take screenshot. Chain place construction areas. What does that even mean? Hotbars. Toggle interface. Toggle statistics view. Dev menu. Flying. Fly down. Increase and decrease field of view. Why is that considered a cheat? Toggle autofocus. Smoothed aim. Locked aim. Simulation speed pause. Reset. Speed faster. You can speed up. And slow time? Oh, you can't slow time, but you can pause it. And speed it up. So I think the thing that'll show us F5 or something, that'll show us how we our coordinates, like in Minecraft when you need to find out if you're at the diamond mining level. Yeah. Dude, that's one of the things I definitely really hate about the updates in Minecraft. You have to dig so much deeper into the ground to find diamonds, and then even after you dig deeper into the ground, you have to dig that frickin' deep slate, which takes so much longer to mine than just stone. Oh, man. Nobody can ever tell me that the Caves and Cliffs update was good. It was so badly executed. So badly executed. I hate the Caves and Cliffs update in Minecraft. Holy shit. Minecraft, everybody knows at this point the Minecraft updates have just been so bad. Like, not literally the worst thing like some games, but like, they have not been what they should have been, you know? And it has gradually been getting worse with each update. And everybody knows it. Like, there's no secret. Everybody fucking knows it. Everybody's like, ah, well. And it all started to go real downhill with the Caves and Cliffs update. Like, I think everybody was really huffing copium when they were praising the Caves and Cliffs update a lot. I think it's the same thing. I think it's the same exact feeling I got with Halo 4. What the hell does that sound? It's the ambiance. Ambiance. Ugh. Sometimes it just sends a chill down my spine with the wrong sounds. But when Halo 4 came out, all of the Halo fans were way too fucking hyped about it, and were really looking past all of the flaws with it way too much. And, you know, I played it and beat it before anybody ever started hating on 343 or anything like that. And I was like, wow, I really didn't like this game. And, you know, that really started my series of becoming very critical of all video games and developers and everything like that, was when 343 ruined Halo 4. And, Bungie abandoned the Halo series and everything to go make shitty Destiny, which is like shitty Halo Overwatch. Sucks balls. Yeah. So that's what the Minecraft updates have been like. It's been like Halo 4 coming out. And let me tell you, that the Minecraft movie, that was like the Minecraft version of the Halo movie and Halo TV show. Eventually, Minecraft is gonna have its fucking moment of Halo 5 and Halo Infinite, and it's gonna die out. It's gonna drop off the face of the earth. And it's gonna be so fucking sad how far the mighty will fall. Let's see, what is the correct order of these colors of grass? So this is the darkest, followed by this, then this, then this. So let's put down this grass, followed by this grass. This grass is actually darker. Are you shitting me? I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. Well, it's too late now. It's going down. Whatever. It's gonna look ugly anyways, because it's gonna have a mix of different colored grasses. I may as well put this color grass here as well, just to really fuck with everything. There we go. Yeah, all the ugly, different colored grasses near each other, so all of the ugliness is at least centered at one point. One general area. And then we'll get a uniform color grass for the most part. For the most part, uniform. But yeah. When you compare like the oh my god, dude, I need a drink of something. My throat is just like suddenly my throat is acting like it's under attack by air or something. Like it feels like someone's freaking turned on a leaf blower that's filled with dust. Why am I like feels like I just swallowed a bunch of dust, dude. What the hell? Oh, it's the Minecraft devs. They're trying to kill me. I started being too critical at Minecraft. Oh my god. Don't criticize Minecraft, kids. They'll kill you. They'll fucking kill you. Oh my god. I can't even talk. Okay, I had to take a moment there to try and cough it out a little. Get us a couple sips there. I think, it's getting better. That was weird. Just suddenly, like, out of nowhere. Could not do anything. Alright. We are making some beautiful progress on this right here. I want to fill in this whole side. So, like, we have, like, 4 quarters, basically. So we have, like, that third, and that third. So 3/4 of this top floor, not the top floor. 3/4 of the, let's just call this the banner floor. 3/4 of the banner floor is gonna be for, like, crafting stuff, and then we'll have this third will be for farming. And that's pretty much all the farming space we'll need for a little while. We're gonna need way more. But this will be good for now, just for, you know, a while we get things started. Do I even want to connect directly like that? I don't know. Might be nice to not do that. I do want to get rid of these fucking beds eventually. I need the beds, but I also want to get rid of the bed. So I'm gonna just make it grass, so I know to get rid of them eventually. We'll make a layer with beds. Put all the beds for all of our colonists in one big giant bed layer. We should be able to get that started next stream. Now, this stream we did a lot of the basic, like, plotting of land and everything. Yeah, there's that desert area. The pyramid I can actually sort of see from here. Over here we have the tree. Yeah, you can see the tree is green and pink over there. So we have those, like, marked. We never found a swampy biome. There's supposed to be, like, a swampy biome. Oh, I think you get lead from the swamp. And then that sandy area might actually just be for that sand silica or whatever the hell that is called. And then coal from the tall forests. And then you get gold from the mountains. Unless the mod, I did get a mod that's supposed to put ore in all of the biomes. All of the different ores in all of the biomes, so you don't have to go to all the different biomes. Which would be very handy, but I have no idea if it's actually working, because I didn't mine super far down yet. So we might not even have to build all of those outposts, which would be wonderful. We could have one super colony instead of having to make all of the other colonies we have to manage. But I would still probably build outposts just because it's cool. Yeah. Trying to get this done. So that's the zombie path. Oh my god, I'm gonna start fucking coughing again. I'm gonna go crazy. Get me a sip. Alright. Let's see. So this guard perimeter here. I want to have the whole... I want to have like a whole rim of guards here. A sky rim, if you will. The point being that this way we have a ton of space to put our guards, who can then constantly shoot the zombies. And not only that, but this will also keep all of the guards in one nice, easy to find place. It gives us a cool perimeter around all of our colonists. And when the zombies, there's probably going to be a point in this playthrough where the zombies are going to manage to break through all of the guards and start killing colonists. And I want them to start killing the guards first before they kill everybody else. So having the guards right next to the zombie path is what I want more than anything. So they'll kill this guy, then this guy, then this guy, then this guy, all the way around, instead of just coming down and then going straight for the flag. I'm hoping it works like that. Because that would save a lot of our colonists' lives. I think I'm gonna get rid of these bushes here. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, bushes getting got. Gonna have guards along there. Yeah, this box can stay here. That should be fine. Alright, so we have snow going around the whole perimeter, right? That part of the zombie path being stone, I don't care about. That's fine. All I care about is that we have this guard area clearly marked with snow. Yeah. Yep. Perfect. Perfect. Alright. So the zombies enter from here. They have to go all the way around. Once they come all the way around, then they get to here. And then they have to climb up these stairs, then climb down the stairs, and then they can... this is where they enter the colony officially. So that gives our guards plenty of time to light them up. The slings... Did we ever, like, test fire our sling? I think we did. Yep, I can't fire it because I need sling bullets in my hand. There it goes. I feel like I adjusted some stats for that, but maybe it's different for the guards than it is for me. I feel like I made it shoot faster but do less damage. And then I changed like the other stats for other weapons to make them different. I don't know. I definitely messed with the guards at least, if not the weapons themselves. So it could work totally different for me than it does for them, or that could be how it works, and my changes that I made to the files a while ago didn't actually do anything. We'll see. We'll see. It'll be interesting. Even if you've played this game before, it should be interesting to see how I have goofed with the game. Because I have definitely done some goofy stuff with the game. And I'm very curious how it's going to work in hard mode. That's for sure, because hard mode... like I've played normal. Every time I played normal difficulty. Never played on hard difficulty, so I'm very, very interested. That is so much faster. I'll mess up some more, but man, that is definitely speeding things up. And then check this out, this is gonna be crazy. That is fucking amazing. Holy shit. Alright. So that's done. Now, last thing before we end the stream. Filling in this area so that way we actually have a complete layer of our base. Of our colony here. And then for the rest of all of our streams, we won't have wonky floors where we just have a bunch of weird natural terrain poking out, and then it connects to like some weird bits of random floating shit. At least it'll be that way until we start another floor. We're gonna figure out next stream where we want to put our staircase, because I still don't know. Like, a central staircase would be like nice for keeping it central, but also a corner staircase I like because, like, if you're standing in a corner and you need to dig out a square, I feel like it's a lot easier to start from one corner of the square than it is to start from, you know, the middle of the square. Starting from the middle, start from the middle, now we're here. That type of thing, right? You picking up what I'm putting down? There we go. There we go. Ah! I'm stuck on brand new floors, because brand new floors are above me. There we go. Now we're talking. It's not pretty, the way that I'm trying to do this faster, but it is faster than if we did it the slower way. That's for sure. This is definitely blowing some people's mind. How is he placing it that fast? Modded, colony survival, so much better. It's like playing a lot of other games of this ilk with mods. It's just like, it just makes life a lot better. You know, if you go too crazy with the mods, it's gonna make life a lot worse. Like if you try to get all the outdated mods for Stellaris, you're gonna have a bad time. But if you get just the right number of mods, like with our playthrough of Minecraft, get the nice, perfect number of mods, it just works. And it works so good. Oh my god, that is fantastic. Holy shit, dude, that works like a dream. Okay. That looks so much fucking better. Holy shit. Wow. Alright, we have a floor, like an actual floor we can use now. We don't have to fall through all the time. All you have to do is be careful of the trench, and then zombie maze. Oh, that's so good. Look at this. It's like, we have a foundation, literally. We have a literal foundation to work from now. So, next time we stream Colony Survival, we're gonna do our staircase. I've been thinking in my head silently, I've been thinking we do it here, and then figure out how the hell we go up and down. Because I want to start in a corner, and then you just kind of go along this wall, you go down, and then all the way until you hit the other corner, then you keep going down, but then you turn. And then we'll go up right here. So like if I want to go up, I probably want it to be like 4. Oh yeah, that would make it like so much more visually not obtuse. Oh, wait, I just realized. Wait, no. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. Cause our dudes walk like the zombies too, so they can't go diagonal. But what they can do, they can walk. They can still go up and down like that. That's fine, yeah. So even though I'll have to get rid of like a lot of this floor right here. There we go. Get rid of that. Yeah, and it's not too steep, so we can like sprint up and down it without having to worry about taking fall damage, you know? So that'll be sweet. Yeah. Wide, so we don't fall off constantly. And not steep, so we can run down it without having to worry about getting hurt. And it'll also give us a nice view of everything as we go up and down. Yeah, this should be good. Get rid of that. Okay, so now we have the staircase figured out, and we can expand it next time. So that'll go up floors, this will go down floors. I'm thinking we put the bed layer right here. This layer is not gonna have any ore when we dig it out. And once we start digging below this floor, like you know, we want this floor to be 2 blocks tall, so people can just barely stand in it. And then every other floor can be taller or whatever. So this will be like the only floor that's like strictly it has to be 2 blocks tall, just for the sake of the construction. And then these floors have to be taller because we're going to put trees and stuff here. Maybe not this floor. This floor could probably just be 2 blocks. But then we'll have foresters who are going to have trees, which is it's going to have to be super tall. But yeah, we'll deal with that when we get to it. So be sure to follow if you're not following already. Check out the other Vodkavsky social medias and stuff. I started working on some clips today, just to sample this editing software so far. The only thing it's good for is making some short clips. Otherwise, it sucks compared to Shotcut. This one is called CapCut. Yeah, CapCut. I hate CapCut. It's only good for making short clips, and that's it. Not good for anything else. And Shotcut seems to be a lot better still, even though Shotcut still crashes and sucks. CapCut keeps trying to advertise the pro version to me all the fucking time, and it's really annoying. And it took me like over 2 hours just to figure out how to get it to fucking work, because it had this issue in the player where it had a black screen and it wouldn't preview what the fuck I was trying to edit. And I had to fuck with the settings a bunch, and I don't know why, but it just does. It suddenly stopped having the black screen issue. None of the tutorials online worked to fix it, but I still did them anyways. The only thing that did work was reinstalling it, which was annoying, but After that, it seemed to start working properly. I don't like that I had to install it on a fucking drive that I did not want the thing to be installed on, because I had the video stuff separate from all the other shit on the computer, so that way I have a hard drive for storing videos, which can be gigantic, and then all the other shit on another drive, blah blah blah, whatever size it wants. Kind of annoying, but the other editing software I have is what is it? I can't remember. Kden Live. I haven't tested Kden Live yet, so that'll be another one I test eventually, but I'll do some clips with CapCut, start getting used to that. If I continue to hate it too much, then I will switch back to Shotcut. Or not switch back to Shotcut right away, but use Kden Live first. And if that also sucks, then I'll just go back to using Shotcut and hating my life because it crashes constantly and it can't handle anything longer than like fucking 5 minutes without just constant fucking issues and crashing, and it can only handle like 3 layers of video before it just constantly fucking shits itself all the time with every single tiny edit that you do ever. Oh dude, I hate using Shotcut. I want a stronger, less terrible fucking editing software so badly so I can just get back to editing without having this apprehension. That's the perfect word. Apprehension and procrastination. That is all that I've had when it comes to editing lately, because the time sink, it's such a fucking time sink, but it's the only way that any content is going to look better on the channel. That, and also, you know, making the artwork for the channel myself. I'm very adamant about making all of the artwork and everything myself for the channel, which I have done so far. The logo and all of these avatars, all of these VTuber avatars, I have made myself. That probably shows, because they are all made in MS Paint. I don't have any professional like drawing software or anything. I do have like a photoshopping thing. I have the GIMP thing for photoshopping stuff, but I haven't done anything with it. That would probably help me make higher quality avatars. I could take a bunch of other objects and put them in to make cooler avatars rather than using MS Paint for everything, but that's something I need to figure out way later after I get back into the swing of editing stuff. But yeah, that'll be it for this stream. I hope you enjoyed. I know I did. I'm very much looking forward to playing more of this. And then tomorrow, I don't know what we're streaming. It's either Fallout 2 or Delta Force 2. Either way, it's gonna be a good time, so stay tuned. Be sure to check it out. Same time tomorrow. I love you, and I hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.